Alright, so 7 o'clock, Monday, the 22nd of May, and yeah, getting away pretty early. We sort of, I don't know, out here, Richard's up early, 5:30, and then we sort of get out of bed about 6, and then we're such a quick pack up, coffee, and we're out of there about 7, so yeah, heading west again. And I think we're about 400 k's into Wiluna, so it's still a bit of a drive, but it's a nice road now. Look at this road here, it's just graded basically, and sitting on, we'll be able to sit on 100 all the way, but it's still about 5 hours to 6 hours. So we'll get to Wiluna after lunch, but we got away nice and early. Yeah, we couldn't have a chat with Richard this morning because it was just too windy, and just a breeze it picked up, and with just the iPhone, it's the wind really kills the noise, kills it. So we couldn't film this morning, but we'll have a chat to Richard tonight hopefully. And yeah, I was just thinking of what we've been doing, is have a little chat to Richard tonight, of course, and around the fire, and get some ideas for what I can talk to him about in the morning. I'm not much of an interviewer, but trying to think of things that we can ask him. So I had a couple of good stories that he was telling us last night we can share, and for me it's beautiful as well just to hear Richard's stories from way back, on the cattle station and how he grew up and everything. So yeah, anyway, we'll see if we can chat to Richard tonight. Otherwise, going pretty good. No funny noises from the truck. Beautiful day. Heading west. And we'll see what today brings. But pretty much we're just going to get into Wiluna. We'll have a shower and a clean up. Refuel. Fill up the water bags. Pretty much we just need really fuel, but there might be a few things we need to buy, and we'll probably set up an early camp. We might come back out of town and set up a camp, just have an early camp tonight, and get ready for head off on the Canning tomorrow morning. So it feels like we've almost achieved something, by getting there, but geez, we're it's like, it'd be like, yeah, we've achieved something, but all we've done is get to the start of the trip. It's such a long way, and we could have gone the easier tracks, up through Kalgoorlie, Laverton on the highway, but we wanted to go these back roads, and which has been great. Been a dream of mine to head west from Ayers Rock for a long time. We didn't put much of Ayers Rock in. Was it yesterday, the day before? A few people asking. Yeah, we went to Ayers Rock and Yolgas. But Richard didn't come in because it's fairly expensive. He's seen it. He said he's seen it so many times before, and it's a lot of money. You've got to buy a 3-day pass just for half an hour to have a look, and you can't climb it anyway. So what you can do is take a quick photo and go, which is what we did. If you could climb it, we'd probably stay and do that, but not much you can do there but take a photo. And we didn't have the time to walk around, things like that. So, and it was very windy as well, really windy. So, but yeah, went to there, Uluru or Ayers Rock. We'll ask Richard about it. His opinion is, the elders, about climbing it. It's all bad now, which I think is a real shame. I do. I've climbed it 3 times, and that's why you go here. It's such a long way, and now they've said, you can't climb it, but the elders in the past said you could, and they were the traditional elders, that generation's gone, but they were okay with it, and they wanted people to come there and share it, and now this new generation have come through and said, no, we don't want to do that. So that's we can talk to Richard about that, but that's what he's said to me, that the traditional owners were fine with it, and that should continue, and it's a bit of a shame. remember last time I was there, we were lined up in the 76 for a photo, a sunset photo. We couldn't get a park, and it was this time of the year. It was May. We could not get a park there. There was so many people, and now there was probably half a dozen cars lined up. So I think that's a shame. Anyway, we only had a quick stop, and you can't camp within that national park around there, so we needed to do 50 k's, get out the other side. We're not going to camp in caravan parks, and this is all about Richard, and then we're the same. We're going to pull up camp, get a fire going in the morning, kick the ashes, throw some logs on, get fire going again, put the coffee on. You can't do that in the caravan park. So this trip's all about bush camping, and we're happy to go to the caravan park and get a shower, pay $5. That's all it is. Nearly all the caravan parks will let you have a shower, and the odd one that won't give a shower for $5, just tell them you give them $10 or $20. They'll always will. So anyway, here's the road. Happy to be alive right now, as always. Life's pretty good, and we've got a great couple of fellas we're sharing it with. Glenn and Brendan are good fellas. Only just met Brendan this trip, but a really good bloke, and a very capable man, and great around the camp. You want someone around camp who's always willing to help out and not make a mess, and the Kiwi boys are great. Glenn's a good mate of mine, and to share this with Uncle Richard as well is a real privilege. When we first started talking in Canberra about this, Richard's been working his whole life as well, so he hasn't, although we'll talk more about him where he grew up. I really wanted to ask him that this morning, where he's from, and share that, but it's too windy. But he's been working. He's 71 and still driving trucks. So although he grew up just north of the Simpson Desert, he hadn't been across the Simpson Desert. And I'm like, that's when I first said, mate, wow, let's do a trip. And he told me he had a little Hilux, and I said, right, well, let's do the Simpson Desert. So that was the plan. It was to take Richard across the Simpson Desert. And then got blocked off this year, flooded. So then we're like, well, wouldn't mind doing the canning, and let's do that. So that's where we ended up here. But Richard hasn't done any four-wheel drive trips like this, where he's just able to relax. He's not working. He's just driving with us. And to see him, pull some grass out, throw it on the ground at night when we break camp. He, gets his grass, and then he throws the gidgee on and the mulga on, and sits down and rolls a smoke and has a brew. That's for me. That's gold to see that. It's, I don't know. It just represents something special, I think, for Australia. Seeing such a beautiful man, Richard, and he's just really got something about him, something precious, and we're pretty honoured to be able to share this with him, and this won't be our first trip with Richard. We're going to do some more. We've got to do the Simpson yet, and there's still lots of adventures to come. So anyway, bit of a morning story, and catch up with you later. Have a quick chat about Starlink, because this is all made possible that we can do these sort of live daily video logs. I don't know if it's ever been done before, and the reason we can do it is because we've got Starlink. We bought Starlink. A lot of people are getting them. It's becoming very popular with caravanners, and we sell this Starlink bag and selling heaps of those. So I know a lot of people are getting into Starlink. It won't be long, every caravan in the country will have Starlink, and most of the houses as well. And but I got into this guy because we're selling the bag. Somebody shared a link on a Facebook page, Starlink Australia, I think it was. There's a guy called Aaron, and he's got a company called Space Tech, SPACETEK, Space Tech, and he's right up there with Starlink. December to open the store over there, we found out he's in Mildura, and we called in on the way back and caught up with him, and he taught us and showed us how you can flat mount Starlink and run it off DC, because normally it's 240 volts and it's got a really long power cable, so we modified it. So he showed us how to do it, and veer left coming up, guys. Veer left, right.
Gotcha.
And so what we did is we basically cut the Starlink in half, and because it's really only that thick, the motherboard is the size of the dish, but it's only that thick. And we've measured up about 19 mils. 19 mils, put a line around it. We just got a grinder, and we literally freehand cut it out now. You know, we had to be pretty careful, very careful to do that. And other people cut them out. They use ideally a CNC machine to cut it. But once you pull the servo motor and the back cover off, inside you can see the whole motherboard. You can see all the antennas, and it's amazing technology what they've done. And Bruce, Aaron, you know, and it's been described as, or Aaron described it as alien technology. And when you pull it off and have a look, it's incredible. You know, the size of it. These tiny, there's about 20 small antennas, and it looks like a circuit board. And you know, those tiny antennas, which are the size of your thumbnail, you know, they're all working together to shoot a signal 500 miles into space while you're driving along, and it bounces back off those satellites, comes back down, and it's so fast that there's no lag. I mean, the lag is, a human can't detect it. That's why Glenn can talk to his girls on FaceTime, and there's no perceivable lag in the video, whereas normally with a satellite phone, you know, we've got a sat phone here which we won't use anymore. You know, it's hard to talk because it's that lag, you know. So some describe it as alien technology, and I don't know, if you have a look at the motherboard, I'll see if Jake can get some, or I'll send him the video when we cut it apart. It's quite interesting to have a look. And so anyway, we then mounted it into this white case that's on the roof right above me here. And the main thing is to be a waterproof case. It's got to be plastic, can't be metal, and it just goes through the plastic. But the main thing is to get it waterproof. So we had to, cut the cable down and put some Cat 6 cables in. So Kaido did that. We rang up my dad, he's a technician, and he told us, gave some tips, because you got to get those, there's like 8 wires, I think it is, in a Cat 6 cable, and they had to be exactly right. Very hard, you know, they're tiny wires, and if you get one crossed over, or you know, you get a short circuit, you'll blow the whole Starlink. So that was the critical thing, getting the Cat 6 cable done. Kaido did all that for me, and mounted in the box, and then we got a DC converter, so it runs off DC. So there's a little DC transformer in the back there, and Starlink runs straight off that, so it's not running off 240, and apparently that saves a lot of power. I think it's running about 3.5 amps.
This ride take you straight to Wiluna, or which way, buddy?
Yeah, will do, mate. Yeah, there's no turns now, straight to Wiluna.
Okay, yep.
And yeah, so that's it. You know, now what we've been doing is, we found, because it is flat mounted, we've got to face the vehicle south, and that works well. If it's facing the other way, it does struggle a bit. But and I've got it turned off at the moment. While I'm thriving, it's turned off. But we just, when we park at night, face south, turn it on, and it's working so far perfectly, you know. I mean, I've been taking, as you can see, an hour and a half or an hour and 15 minutes of footage, and sharing that to Jake through the phone, just on a share file. And that takes, I don't know, half an hour to go through, which is pretty incredible, really, because it's high quality video on the iPhone. So, then, we've got Richard there sitting as well around the fire, which is really, shows the tradition of the country. You know, in his indigenous and been doing his you know, line of Aboriginal people have been doing this for thousands of years, and now we're doing, you know, I think the first time in history, a live update through Starlink, and Richard's able to talk to his daughter and his family as well, which is he's really enjoying. You know, he can chat to his daughter, his son, and his family, and so that's pretty incredible. The old, you know, the old and the new. I think that's quite amazing, you know, that we're doing. And some people said too that you know, Starlink is going to be more than just internet, and I think that's true. We don't really know what it's all about, but Elon Musk, you know, he's not doing this on his own, and you know, he's putting thousands of these satellites up in space, and you know, I think it's got something to do with the quantum financial system. I think you know, the world's all changing, and for, you know, since 1947, I think 70 years, we've had the American dollar as a de facto global currency, but that's all coming to an end now because BRICS has come along. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and there's a lot of countries joining BRICS now. I think there's 20 or 30 countries lined up to join BRICS as a trading bloc, and so you've literally got now China and Russia, Brazil. They're trading oil in their own currencies, and that's never been done at least in the last 70 years. The last two countries that tried that was Iraq and Libya, you know, and you saw what happened to them, you know. And so, you know, we do need a global currency. You know, we buy and trade overseas, we sell overseas, we import and export, and there has to be a global currency, you know. People depend on it and they need it, but you know, having the American dollar as a de facto global currency, because of the petrodollar, you know, it does give them an unfair advantage really, because they literally can print money and buy their oil, which they do and have been doing for a long time. So they're literally getting free oil. Now that's a big disadvantage, or an advantage for them, and makes it pretty hard for everybody else, you know. Especially Africa, because Africa's got to trade their goods in US dollars as well, and their dollar's worth hardly anything compared to the US dollar. So, I mean, Africa should be one of the richest, you know, continents in the world. They have all the resources. They should be like America, really, but you know, their dollar's worth so little that they get nothing, you know, very little for their resources and their gold, and they've got all the minerals and resources in Africa. But anyway, so that's all changing now, and we haven't really felt the ramifications of that yet, but it's coming, and BRICS is here, and there's nothing America can do about it. But what's going to become the global currency, you know? We don't know, but I think it's got to be something to do with the blockchain. You know, the blockchain's the future, and I think that everybody on Starlink will participate, you know, through the blockchain and through their Starlink, maybe their phone or their computer, in a quantum financial system. And there's a bit of talk about that around, and I think that's what it's really all about, and it's possible. So we'll see. You know, maybe see what you think, if anyone else out there thinks the same. But you know, you can buy Starlink now for $200, $199 in Australia. They want you to have it. How the hell you can get that enormously complicated system that can talk to a satellite instantaneously 500 miles away anywhere in Australia for $200? I mean, that's got to be heavily subsidised, and there's got to be reasons for that. I think it's definitely more about internet, but at the moment for us it's about the internet and being connected. And some people are saying too, oh, why do you want to be on the internet when you're out back? You know, you want to be just away from all that. But being able to be connected, you know, at least for some of us, and for me for sure, it enables us to be out here for a month. If we weren't able to be connected to our businesses, Glenn for sure, and Brennan, and we wouldn't be able to be here. We wouldn't be able to have a month off work. It's just too long away. So if it wasn't for Starlink, we probably wouldn't be able to do this trip. But we can. So anyway, there's a video online, a really good video, Aaron from SpaceX told me to watch. It's called just How Does Starlink Work? Or something like that. like one of those, you know, Starlink for dummies type things, you know, like trying to make it really simple to understand how it works. And I watched it and I couldn't understand it. It was so complicated. It's so complicated how Starlink works, but it's really interesting to watch it. It's fascinating. So have a look at that video if you can. How does Starlink work? And you know, it makes it a bit more interesting to see what we're doing. And also Starlink, I'm seeing now is advertising for a flat mount system, but yeah, it's very expensive. So you can do it yourself. It's not that hard, but you know, if you stuff it up for $200, that's all you've wasted, really. It's so cheap now. But anyway, that's a bit about Starlink and something to think about. Thanks, guys. Carnegie station out here, and we're right on that Lake Carnegie. Just going around the top of it there. But look at this road, it's beautiful. The country's looking great. It's been plenty of rain. The road's really nice. A few little washouts, but otherwise the road's perfect. And yeah, look at this, just gorgeous. A lot of wildlife. If you cattle, there's big Carnegie station. There's a lot of kangaroos on the road here, and yeah, nice drive, that's for sure. Yeah, shot dingo last night, looks like. Gorgeous country around here. Well, we've had some rain, but yeah, stunning scenery. This around Lake Carnegie, you know, and you can. We didn't go in there, but there's a big cattle station at Carnegie there, and wow, look at that. And you can camp there. You'd even get a caravan in here if you took it steady. But it's worth the drive in here, even if you come in here to Carnegie and stay a little while and went back again, you know, because it's a stunning drive. Beautiful country and no one out here. So you know, there's a couple of different ways you can go to. You can probably come up here through the jump up, do a loop, you know. But yeah, beautiful country. Somebody asked on a post, how do you get the flies out of the cab when you stop? You know, you do get a few flies, but it's pretty easy. That's it. Pretty simple. Glenn, we're going to have a stoppie.
I'm on. I've got the burner out.
Oh yeah?
The Uniflame toaster. Just going to have a quick muffin and honey.
Nice, mate. Darren is making cappuccino. Can I have a small cappuccino, please?
$10.
Bargain.
Sticky.
Where do you reckon this was, Richard? Was that an old loading ramp? Reckon they were loading ramp, or
No,
was that an old?
it looks more like a trapyard setup, you know? I don't know, could be.
What sort of timber's that, you reckon?
It's, that'll be mighty great.
Yeah. You answer into it?
Mainly all from this mulga, so yeah, I'm not too sure whether they had a trap system there. You put it on and then the cattle come in, but they can't get out, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you've got sort of pronged
Hmm.
timber going in, so
And
yeah.
cob and cow hitch.
Yep.
That's
Old number 8 wire. Yep.
built the outback, didn't it? The cob and cow hitch.
It does, eh? Yep.
And the termites are into it, eh?
Yeah. It'll take a while, you know, I don't know, what do you look at 60 years, something like this, you know, it's still going. Would be
Yeah.
probably done in the 50s, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And all just with an axe or
Yeah, X. That's all X marks here. Yep.
yeah, and chipped out.
Same with that. And then they're all X. So it looks like a joggle here for a timber, you know?
A what? Sorry.
For a timber, like you put another rail there.
Yeah.
So you've got a joggle there already, so you
What do you call it? A joggle.
yeah, you cut that with a saw. Then you got an old axe. Like a hoe, you know? Yeah.
And adds.
That's it. Chop
Yeah.
that off, you know?
You used to build a
Yeah.
few yards.
Yeah, a few yards, hey. You know, we used to build see that old here drilled one time, so had some sort of a gate or post there, looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And dug these holes were in dug by hand. How deep do
Yeah.
you reckon they would have put them? Like 3 feet or something?
probably about 2 foot, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, depends on the digging.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it got too hard, then you just sort of. But if you join up with your rails, that sort of gives it more support and
Yeah.
strength, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, you don't see many around now, so
Yeah.
yep.
You can have a brew. You want a coffee or
Yeah, I'll grab a coffee. Yeah.
see if Darren will
That'll be
make you a cappuccino.
hungry, boys.
Flies are good, aren't they, mate?
There's a few around.
Darren, can you make Uncle Richard a cappuccino?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Johnny.
No worries.
Hey, how you finding it? All pretty now, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful road, isn't it?
All this is after that, you know, the last cyclone
Yeah.
that come through.
Yeah.
All the flood right back to the Carnegie and other side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and all these clay pans still got a lot of water. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Alright, well, we've made it to Wiluna, 700 k's the last 2 days. 4,250 k's from Gloucester to Wiluna, so yeah, it's not bad. And now at the start of the trip, so we're going to go straight to the pub, might get a hamburger, go to the caravan park, get a shower, go to the servo, get some fuel, and then we'll just spend half an hour in the trucks or an hour just mucking around, blow out the air filters and just crawl under and have a bit of a look. And then we'll, I think it's about 12:30 at the moment, Monday. So then we'll go and, that'll take a couple of hours, and then 3-4 o'clock we might get 100 k's out the road on the stock route. So, yeah, not bad. It's a long way to get here, but otherwise going pretty good. Richard's trucks hasn't had any problems. The Hilux, he's had a good run. Both me and Glenn's funny. Both me and Glenn have had 2 flat tyres, both at the same time, and both the same flat. Like we both had a rock puncher, and then we both had a sidewall puncher with a stick. Looked exactly the same. So here's Wiluna. Anyway, that's a bit funny. both the same punch out on 2 different days, both at the same time. So Richard reckons there's a pub in town. Yeah, so we might find that. Hamburger would be nice. And shower would be really good. Yeah, we have carried the little shower, but we haven't used it yet because we just haven't had time really. You know, it's been very cold at night, and yeah, we've had the water. We carried the water for it, but the time we're up at 6, we're away at 7. And then we drive till about 5. Use the pub here. Right, we're coming to Wiluna to go to the pub, get a hamburger and a shower. There's no pub, no hamburgers, and no showers. But we have got diesel. And
Oh. You get a meat Peter shortage, look.
oh yeah,
He's only 20 k's down the track.
okay.
He was saying if we have a look at the map, we can pop into his place and have a shower and that if we need to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you on the north side or? Which way are you?
We're just about 120 k's up from here.
Yeah.
So what you do, you've got probably go to well 3.
I'll get the map.
Get the map.
Yeah, so you come up.
You've got your other map too,
That's us,
look.
but that's not the homestead anymore. It's our old map. So it's been moved.
Yeah.
So you'll follow the Canning, this one here.
Yeah.
And you'll come across Bridle Face Road, which
Yeah.
should show up on your maps. It cuts across that.
Yeah.
That's the Canning.
I've got the other map actually.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
more
might be
detailed.
on that one.
Yeah.
Look,
We've
you
got
know.
the detail one.
Yeah, the bridal face, so we should go
Bridal
remember that.
face,
You know, yeah.
You turn left there and about 10 k's back to the homestead.
Yeah. Let's check on that.
Yeah. Wiluna here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, go to Burbar. Yeah, so for the stock route up to where are we here?
Well 2.
I'll go to the next page. And glasses on here. What well have we got? That's well 2. Yeah, let's get up to well 3. Where's well 3?
Well 3 here.
Yep.
Yep.
Right, or up here. That would be that little cross there.
Yep.
Would be Bridle Face, I reckon.
Okay.
Righto, yep.
So between well 3 and well 3A, you'll cross Bridle Face.
Yep.
But if you want, chuck a hard left there. It looks a bit like a haul road. There's a lot of traffic on it.
Yeah.
And just be wary. They're drilling out here, and there's a lot of traffic on the road.
Yeah.
So so about 10 k's to your left.
Yeah. So go out that road.
No, don't go right. So coming up here, chuck a left.
Left.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're about 10 k's. Just keep following that main road.
Oh yeah.
About 10 back to the homestead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll go
Left,
past.
left on that road.
Yeah, left on
Oh
that.
yeah. We'll do that.
Yeah. That's Peter anyway, guys.
Yeah. Thank you, mate. So there's
Troops.
all right. Yeah, mate. Hey.
Oh, they're so good.
Sweet.
Their bags.
And then Alright, so there it is. Getting stock routes. Just drive out of the way. We made it, bro.
You made it, bro.
We did it. We did it, mate. We did the canning. We did it. No, not quite.
Okay, here we are.
Well done, Richard. We made it to the
Here we
start,
are, buddy.
mate.
Yep. Finally got here. So, yeah.
Looks like that's it, eh?
That's it. That's it. Yep.
Well done, bro. We made it.
We're here, mate. Finally. Absolutely wicked. You're going to put your
Yeah.
coming forward and stick you in, eh? Correct?
All right, well, we're on the track, and this is it. This is the canning. So, there's a bog hole here that's dry, so that's a good sign. At least down this end, it's going to be dry. Looks like. Done 36 k's out of 1900. And yeah, this is pretty cool. Fully loaded. Truck's pretty heavy. I mean, of course it's going to be heavy. That's how it is. We got food, fuel, and water for at least 2 weeks. Food for 3 weeks at least. And but we're going to get lighter and lighter as we go now. Anyway, so that's it. 8 days, nearly 4,000 k's, 25 years. Here we are on the canning stock route. Have a look. This is what it looks like. So I think it'll be similar to this for the first few days. And apparently it's pretty overgrown right at the top. So, all right, no worries, guys. Tell you what, I've never driven so gingerly in my life, like just nursing this big girl around every bend, just real steady. Here for the long haul, so just going real steady, nice and slow. And anyway, that's what the start of the track looks like. We're in two-wheel drive at the moment. It's pretty firm, it's pretty easy, but it's about to get a bit harder. And yeah, I'll just stop to drop the pressure. So we've been sort of running 36, 33 most of these last several days. But then we're also doing, up to 100 on the main road, which is, when the road's good, dirt road, But I dropped it down now to 35, 30 on the front because we're only going slow, you know, and with the weight and everything, that's pretty good for the moment. Yeah, and because we're going so slow, you know. But yeah, look at this, it's some rocky outcrops here. 15 kilometres an hour. It's going to take a while to do, you know, imagine doing Melbourne to Brisbane doing 15 k's an hour. That's why it takes people 2 weeks to do the trip. Yeah, it's just some tough country. Alright. Yeah, so now for the weight of the vehicle and the speed we're going, 30 on the front, 35 in the back, is just really sweet. You know, sometimes just a couple of PSI makes a big difference. You know, I've done the Simpson 4 times I think now, and you really learn to get your pressures right on the Simpson, because the big sand hills are so important to get it just right. And you know, one pressure is not, you know, the same for all vehicles. You know, it all depends on the load, type of vehicle, and a lot of different things. But really, it's pretty heavy corrugation. You can probably see that, but you know, it's just floating pretty well at the moment. So that seems to be a good pressure. And it also depends on the ground as well. If it's got a lot softer, you know, a lot more sand, then I'll have to go down a bit further. You know, like in the Simpson Desert, you're around, you know, 20, 16, but 35 in the back, 30 on the front, seems to have a good ride, and it's handling pretty well also. You know, when you're too low, you know, you lose a lot of handling ability, so it's always a balance, you know, but yeah, I think that's pretty good at the moment. So yeah, nice little sandy track. The desert looks like it goes as far as we can see, so it's going to be fairly much like this for a while. And yeah, we want to get to that cattle station. Peter, this bloke we met at the servo, and he said we could come there. He said it's only 120 k's up the track, so I thought that'd be an hour or two, but I didn't realise, yeah, the track's quite slow, so it might be sundown before we get there, and we'll probably camp a night there. I think he's 10 kilometres off the track. So anyway, we've done 60 k's since Wiluna, another 60 to go, and then off the track 10. Anyway, but yeah, like I said, just going very steady, not pushing at all. We don't want that suspension bottoming out at all, just really steady on the rear end. And alright, no worries. Yes, I'm going to put the flag on the front. We're on the track, probably should have it on. And although it's, you know, there's no sand hills here at the moment, but it is very scrubby, so yeah, it'll help cars see each other through the scrub. This is a sand flag we got from a bloke in Western Australia, and he makes them up. So yeah, that's it there. And got our brand on it. So we're buying them off him. He contacted me a little while back when he saw we were doing the trip, and asked if we wanted to buy some from him. So we bought 20 originally, then we bought another 30 after that. I'll nip that up tonight, and it's got this mount, it's already on there. Look at that, easy as that. Comes with the 3 pieces, And but we'll just put the 2 on for the moment. See how that goes. And yeah, there we go. He's pretty slow going. Oh, it's a real forward drive track. Nothing extreme, but yeah, you know, it's definitely a forward drive track. So first well, 2A. And this is what it's all about, I suppose. Just wells they've dug for the cattle. So, you know, blokes like Uncle Richard many years ago would have been driving cattle down here, and this is one of the many watering points along the longest cattle driven routes in the world, I'd say. First well, mate.
First well. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Bloody oath, yeah. Jesus.
Oh, it's got water in it.
Yeah, yeah.
They must have had, what, a windmill on top, or what's all that structure there? Maybe just a roof over it.
Just a roof over it, eh? I can't see a windmill. See, because a lot of them early days they used the buckets, you know,
Yeah, right.
and a winch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's how it all started up. So, yep. A trough there. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Hard,
number
hard
2A.
digging, eh?
Yeah, I
Hard
bet.
digging would have been hard digging, you know.
Yeah, all rocky, eh?
A hard slog. Yeah.
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 How deep you reckon they're down?
Oh, I've got no idea. We just.
Yeah, it'd be hard digging, right?
Bloody oath.
All right, 50 wells to go. All right, we're going to camp right here. Look at these things. They would go through your tyre. Easy, bring it in there. Right, so pulled up. Tony's got a little kitchen out. And first day in the canny. Tent up. Heavy boys are getting ready. Tony's checking in. Charcoal's nearly on, nearly ready. Swag's up. Richard's set up.
Yeah, camp's all set up.
Ooh. First night of the canning, mate.
Yeah, first camp.
Yep.
Yep.
Once another 10 minutes, the flies will be gone, it'll be better.
I know, yep. That's why I just sit here and just bloody keep brushing them away.
Yeah. Alright, that's our camp. Nice and simple. Here we are, just set up camp. The rest of us are just thinking about showers, and Luke, well, he's got the shower going in there and looking pretty comfy. Fantastic. So, I wonder what he's going to charge for a shower. I'll check when he gets out. Thanks, mate. Alright, well we've put up camp and sun's going down, and we missed a bit of a chat with Uncle Richard this morning because it was a bit windy, wasn't it, mate?
Bit windy, eh? Yeah.
Yeah. Nice and calm now, eh?
It is. It's beautiful. So it's. I don't think it's going to get much colder, you know.
Yeah,
It's going to be nice. Yeah.
Beautiful night tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
And what are you cooking for dinner, you reckon?
Me,
Yeah. What do you got planned for dinner tonight?
nothing.
Looks like Darren's cooking. Yep, sharing tonight.
Actually, we had some junk food,
Yeah.
didn't we? Yeah. We had some junk food,
Oh, we had high hopes
it's
for a
horrible.
hamburger.
It's horrible, but it's
High
filling,
hopes
you
for a
know?
hamburger at Wiluna, but that didn't happen.
No, that's it. I mean, look, we had a great run this morning from where we left off. And, once we got to the Shire of Wiluna, the roads were beautiful, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And when we got to Wiluna, what's the population would be? I'd say 500.
Yeah, I'm
2
not
to
sure.
500, something like that.
Not sure. I didn't see too many people, but
No.
well, there was no pub and not much at all, really, was there?
No,
You know, so-
not much at all. And we just fueled up and got a bit of junk food for lunch and headed off, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was hoping the old pub might have been still open so we could have a pub meal.
That would have been nice.
Yeah.
Well, we thought we might get a shower at the caravan park too, but that wasn't happening.
No, nothing, you know. Yeah.
So bush shower tonight.
Yep.
And,
But even the Shire manager came up to me after and he said, no, you know, you guys out of luck. So we just talking about building one. They've been talking about it for the last 5 years.
Yeah, right.
But he said they seem to be getting closer now to setting up a campground and a caravan park and showers, you know.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Yeah, because they do get a lot of tourists going through there this time of the year.
Yeah. And we're on the Canning. I mean, this is 50, 60 k's up the Canning stock route. So
Yep.
we made it and we're on our way and we're doing it. So that's a nice little track, isn't it? Beautiful little track.
Look, it's nice, eh? You know, you've got rough in sections, you know, the rocky outcrops and that'll look at well number 1.
Yep.
Yeah, that had plenty of water.
Yeah.
And like we said, it's just solid rock, you know, it's hard digging. I don't know how they did it, those guys, but...
And for the drovers back then, it would have been, that's got to be the longest stock droving run in the world, eh?
It is, yeah.
It'd have to be. It's nothing like that length in America, I don't think.
No. Especially coming across the desert, you know? That's why the army came in and set up all those wells with winch and they had no pump, no windmill, nothing, you know?
Did the army drill all them, did they?
I think they put them in,
right.
put the wells in for the stock route, yep.
Yeah, right.
And but everything had to be sort of winched by hand.
All the water for the cattle?
All the water for the cattle and the horses.
Geez, that's a big job.
Yeah, big job, you know.
Yeah, wow.
So, I don't know what happened there. I think it was just sort of a seasonal, might be one-off, 1 or 2 twice, and that's it. Otherwise, it's just too risky, you know, across the desert there. Yeah.
And I heard a word last night I'd never heard before. Yang.
Yang. Well, out in the stockyard, we used to use that for any horses that were flighty, touchy, jumpy, you know, and Buck had the drop of a hat, and so we used to say, oh, who's going to ride the Yang today, you know, and Joe Blow.
The
and
Yangs. I'd never heard that word before.
That's it. So we used to put a lot of young blokes on, new blokes that's coming on, you know, a bit cocky.
Yeah.
So, you can have that horse there.
I know a few young kids that are a bit cocky, that a young Yang would probably sort them out, you know.
Oh, very quick.
That's the way to do it, isn't it?
Very quick, you know. Yeah.
I've got some stables at Drifta actually, and I should get a few Yangs and bring them in, and
that's it.
any boys that are playing up, we say, righto, out there and saddle up.
That's it. There's
Quieten them down.
No more smart ass comments or cockiness then, you know, it's finished. Yeah.
Did you ever get in any Yangs?
Oh, look, I've had a few, you know. Yeah. Like growing up, I've got to hang up pretty well and stick it pretty well too, you know. Yeah.
What do you mean
rough,
hung up?
Rough horses, you know, that buck like crazy, and but again, horses like people, you know. You treat them right, they seem to sort of bond to you, you know. Get to know you and get to know your habits and style, and and a lot of them. A lot of the so-called yang horses turned out really good horses, you know. Yeah.
And you had about 5 plant horses, you said?
Look, every time we started a muster, we'd have 5 horses each.
Yeah.
Then halfway through the year, and then we'd go back to the homestead and take the shoes off all the horses, have a break, then bring a new lot in. Yeah.
And did you just do the shoeing yourself, or was there?
No, we did it all ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yep. And well, you had to, because there was no people that were going around doing shoeing, you know.
Yeah, no blacksmiths come around out of the station.
No blacksmiths, nothing, you know. Yeah.
And did you just had a heap of shoes sort of rough the right size? Did you have to shape them a bit, or?
Yep, you had to shape them. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
That's a lot of work and a skill, isn't it?
It is. You know, we had the anvil.
Yeah.
Carry the anvil in the ute with us, and then just shape them on that, and you had big bolt cutters that you could cut off and just cut them to the size to fit the horse's hoof.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's it, isn't it? Bolt cutters and an anvil, and just cold chew them. Just bend them around cold.
That's all, you know. Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
right.
We shoot most of our riding horses. We shot them, and pretty well near all of them, you know. And then a few we'd sort of let go, and then if they started sort of getting tenderfoot, which is soreness and a bit of a limp, and then we'd put the shoes on them, you know. Yeah.
And you were saying last night that a mule bucked you off one day.
Oh, mules. Yeah.
You bucked off by a mule?
Yes, they're smart animals, very smart animals.
Yeah.
I think everyone knows that they're used well in the Rockies and Kings. What's that? Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
They're very, very quiet, very gentle animals, and but the one we had was a bit flighty. You know, you could pack him. You could put a pack and a swag and a canteen on him, and no worries, you know. Yeah. But as soon as you put a human on, then he sort of tends to.
And was that the one when you ran into the spider web, the big golden orb?
Yeah. I think this morning I decided to spell my horses and give the mule a ride, because the mule did nothing, you know, just. So I decided riding this morning and behind mob of cows and calves, going through all the scrub, and then and take you 20-30 yards to pull him up, because they're very hard mouth.
Yeah.
And I looked up and I see this golden web, spider web, going right across between 2 big trees, you know. Yeah. And it was chest high, so I knew it was coming up.
A big golden orb spider.
Yeah, big golden orb spider. And
we've seen a few of them on the track, haven't we? Like
we have.
Drove through.
Actually, take some photos. Take some shots tomorrow or next day when we see some.
Yeah.
And they're huge, and I couldn't pull the mule up. Then he took me straight into the golden web, and the golden web was sitting about chest high like this. He hit me there, and I started going like this, you know.
Yeah.
And the old mule sort of turned around and looked at me and decided, okay, this is the time I'll get you. He did 2 bucks, you know, 1, 2, and then he bucked back in under me, and I kept going.
Yeah.
And still going like this, trying to, you know, hoping the spider had fallen off or kicked off, and Yeah, then I finally got up and the mule standing there looking at me, you know, just possibly giggling away, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody.
And you're also saying that you and the boys used to be able to lift a 200 litre or a 44 gallon drum onto the back of a truck. Like I didn't think that's possible, but you know, you were saying that's what you guys used to do.
Petrol, you could. There was a knack, you know.
A 44 gallon drum.
Yeah. There was a knack. You had to sort of stand it on its edge, then push it in one motion.
Yeah.
So everything's sort of the momentum's still going. So onto your knee, then from your knee on the side of the tray.
Yeah, right.
Tray of a Toyota.
But it's like 200 kilos, but by flicking it up like that on your knee and rolling it up, you could do it, eh?
Yeah, you could do it, you know.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, no, there's a knack, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And were you expected to be able to do that? Like, is that sort of what you had to do?
No. You did it if you're on your own.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you had to, you know.
Yeah.
And water and diesel were just too heavy, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I had to roll a heap of drums off a beach one time up in the Kimberleys actually for a mate of mine. And
Okay. Yep.
they dropped 20 drums off on the beach.
Yep.
And they had a fishing camp and we had to roll them up the beach 100 metres. But they're bloody heavy, aren't they, you know?
Oh, they are. They are.
But that's what all the stations run on, isn't it? 44 gallon drums for
That's
fuel.
all. Yep.
Yeah.
That's all. Just 44s or 200 litre drum, they call it now, you know.
Yeah.
And but like early days, you know, like the big yard post and all that, which is probably about a foot round, 2 foot round sometimes, and we all try to outlift each other and did all that, you know, and a lot of us sort of ended paying for it at the end of it all, you know.
Stuffed your backs up.
Yeah, it does. Yep.
Yeah, well, when you're young and strong, you do that, don't you? You want to sort of try to lift more than the next bloke and that sort of thing. That's what young fellas do, isn't it? You know?
That's
try to outlift each other.
That's pretty well sort of human nature, eh? You know, like I'm better than that guy or stronger than that guy, yeah.
And the other thing I was wondering is, you know, you said you're 71 now or thereabouts. But but also with driving, we've been talking about driving a lot, and you've just finished driving the trucks recently. But you know, you can retire earlier, but you've kept driving until you're 71. But you've given up now, haven't you? Like this is the last year.
Yeah,
you finished
that's it. You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
And why have you driven so long? Like, you know, you just wanted to keep going, or?
Oh, look, I mean, it's good money, and I was single, and I didn't mind the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And especially because you're covering a lot of distance and you're seeing a lot of country.
Yeah.
And you're meeting different people, you know.
So you enjoyed it.
Enjoyed it, yeah. Then it was only the last 5-6 years that I decided to sort of, attached up with a lady friend, and we ended up buying a house in Victor Harbour. Then because I couldn't settle down after doing 14 to 17 hour days, you can't sort of turn the tap off and no, you've got to sort of ease your way out of that somehow, you know. And that's what I said to my partner, and I said somehow I just got to keep going back and doing part-time and and gradually ease away from it, you know, and enjoy more of life.
Yeah. Well, you've done well, mate, to work up to 71 and big days, big truck, and you know. But now I suppose, if you're finished up, we can spend a bit more time doing what we're doing now, eh?
Yeah, definitely, you know, and I mean, look, you know, there's a lot of things we can sort of cover, a little bit on the history and on anything and everything, you know, like the transport side of things. There's a lot of mates out there that same age as me, sort of retired, but like to sort of keep in touch, and then I think you had 1 or 2 guys that come on that we worked together in Port Hedland, you know. But that can be another story, you know.
Yeah, several blokes have mentioned they know you, of course. So.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Well, we've got plenty more chats to go, and there's still a couple of weeks on the road. And thank you, mate. We'll see if dinner's ready, and we're all pretty hungry, aren't we?
Pretty hungry. Oh, look, you've got amazing chef, eh? You know, you're lucky.
There's pressure on me.
Pressure. Fire's going good.
Oh, yeah.
Kiwi boys are going good. And all right, thank
That's
you,
it.
Richard. Well, it's the first day on the track of the Canning, and we're loving it, aren't we? Eh?
Oh, look, beautiful evening. That's it, you know. Yeah. And look, that's life. That's living.
Get that out there.
Yep. Look at that. Yeah.
All right, thank you, mate.
Ah, all good.
All right, Downey's got. What do you got, Downey?
Something special for the first night.
Look at this,
Oh,
buddy.
sorry, mate. Sorry.
Look at that, bro.
Whoa.
That looks good. Little camp oven. That's nearly ready, actually.
Yeah, ready.
So hungry.
Right, we're having crumb cutlets and a little bake. Downey's done. Look at that. That looks so good. Just on the little bread oven. Charcoal. Finished dinner, bro?
Beer o'clock. My brother's cooking. See what he's cooking over there.
I reckon you're not going to move again all night.
Can you tell? I have got the kiwi
Cushion?
cushions
I
on.
reckon you're set, mate.
Kiwi cushions are a must.
I've been here for over 20 years, so I don't know if I can be classed as a kiwi now. So
Oh, always, mate. You never lose that, do you?
No.
What
He'll never live it down here.
what are you going to be classed as, an Aussie?
well, don't know.
You may have his Aussie citizenship. Or at least pretend to.
No, he's always a Kiwi. Well, you're in my phone as Kiwi Glenn. That's what always comes up when you ring. So,
I gotta fix that.
how's that, Uncle Richard? Good tucker?
Nice.
Not bad?
Perfect.
Oh, that's a good day, wasn't it? Oh, how cool is it to be on the track
Oh, it was awesome
after all that 8 days?
8 days to get here.
to
Yeah.
start.
Yeah,
Finally here. Yeah.
That's it.
we've done 1/36th of the track actually, because we've done 60 k's out of 1900. Does that math add up?
60 of 1900. So we've seen one water hole out of how many water holes?
I think there's 50.
60 water holes.
50. Yeah.
50, there you go.
Well, you're doing it, mate. We're doing it. So, trucks are going good.
Yep.
And the Land Rover, the Disco. Oh, we've got to. Daniel Gibson has some questions for us.
Oh, hey,
We might do
Daniel.
that. We might do it in the morning, eh? What do you reckon?
Looking forward to answer them.
Or do you want to do it now?
You got them? We'll
Yeah.
answer one now. What's the first question?
What sort of spares you got? Spares.
Spares. I've got 2 spare tyres.
Yeah.
One on the back, one on the top. I've got spare main bout.
No, you've got 1.5 spares.
Yeah, that's right. 1.5.
One
spares.
slightly used.
Yeah, one we went a bit flat on day something.
Yep. So
Got
I
a main
think.
bout, top radiator pipe, and bottom radiator pipe with all the clamps.
Yeah.
That's it for spares.
And are you confident?
And the belt.
This is the main question. Are you confident that you're going to get through? Because the whole world, all the disco owners in the whole world is watching. They're all watching and hoping, because if you make it, there's going to be a flood of discos coming up the track.
Confident.
You won't be able to hold them back.
We're only going to get lighter from here. So we're confident.
Team Kiwi never fails.
Yeah.
Land Rover.
The All Blacks.
Team Kiwi.
That's
The All
right.
Blacks.
He wasn't
No.
comfortable doing it on his own, so he had to bring his brother across.
They're pretty actually, you know what? I'll tell you this is the fact, right? I wouldn't have let you come on this trip in a disco, except for the fact that we went and did Beachport to Robe.
That's right, we did.
And that truck
Yeah.
on those beaches,
Yeah.
I was so surprised. It smashed it, like it did it. And it got bogged once or twice, but so did all of us. And that was a
did.
tough track. And I tell you what, that truck really impressed me.
Yep.
So that's was like your apprenticeship for these trips, you know.
So I'm ready for the
Did
next.
he get a certificate?
I'm ready for the next questions tomorrow. So looking forward
All
to
right,
it.
Daniel, our mate, Daniel Gibson from Prime News. Next year you can come with us, mate. Your disco will hold up. And yeah, any other? I forgot the rest of the questions, but
We'll have them. We'll have them tomorrow.
I'll have them tomorrow. All right, I'm going to get into my tucker.